Well, hey y'all, and welcome to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. I'm Susan, your hostess, and today we're in my kitchen for hashtag Cleaning Hacks 24. This is an open collaboration hosted by me. It will end on December the 30th, 2024, and if you want to join, all you have to do is put your video up there. Make sure that you include the hashtag and tag me in the title and the description box, and attach the playlist to your description box. And hopefully you're already a friend of the channel. If you're not, just friend my channel as well. That way I am sure that I'm going to see that video. So what are we making today? We are making a kitchen wood restore for wooden spoons, cutting boards, and etc. And it's really a simple recipe. I think you're going to like this. You have an option of adding essential oils if you want to. It's not necessary, but if you want to, you can do it. You can also just use the coconut oil and wipe everything down with to kind of seal those wooden utensils. But I'm going to add in some home rendered beeswax. My neighbor does beekeeping, and so I have rendered some beeswax. I've already measured this out, and I'm going to use coconut oil, 100% coconut oil. Organic is better. And so I've measured that out. The recipe calls for by the tablespoon. But because of the way my beeswax is, I measured it out by the ounce. And so I've got about an ounce or two of beeswax. And then I have about 10 ounces of my coconut oil. And that should be enough to solidify this liquid when I'm through with it. So let's get in the kitchen. Before we start with that, I want to show you, I've got some raw wood pieces here that needs to be sealed so that they will last a very, very long time. I've got some old cutting boards. This one I just finished washing. I'm waiting for it to dry out. And I have this cutting board, which really needs a good seal on it. Even though it's clean, it doesn't look it. It looks stained. And so we want to preserve these the best we can. And I've also pulled out 3 of my rolling pins. So this is the big rolling pin. This one is actually cedar. And then I've got a couple of other rolling pins that I want to make sure that I seal today. And you can also use this on your wood countertops or your wood furniture if you want a wax finish type thing on those. So those are the items I'm going to be working on today. And I've got my stove set up. We're going to get in here and get it done. I've actually pulled out some peppermint oil. This is an essential oil. I have the most of this, so I decided I was going to use it. And I've got my clean jar with a funnel that I am not going to use for anything but for this kind of thing. I am so thrilled I can do an overhead shot of my stove now. I've got some water in here, and I have a glass measuring cup that I no longer will be using. The numbers have actually come off of it. So I'm going to use this as a double boiler, and we're going to get that started melting. And I have measured out 2 ounces of my beeswax and 10 ounces of my coconut oil. And if I feel like the ratio isn't right, I may add a little bit more of one of the other items. So we're going to get this melting, and I'm going to get this coconut oil in there and get it melted as well. Okay, I've got a boil going on, and I'm starting to melt down a little bit. And once all of this is melted and incorporated, I'm going to take it off the heat, and I will add my essential oil, and we will get it jarred up. I'm also using a skewer to stir with because it's disposable. I don't have to dirty a spoon or something with the beeswax and try to scrape it off. going to take this out of my double boiler, and I'm going to place it on some folded paper towels to cool for a moment before I put it in my jar. I'm actually thinking I won't need the funnel, but this is an old funnel that's kind of beat up, so I wasn't afraid to use it if I have to. Got a couple more pieces of wax that needs to melt. And it's melted. So turn that burner off. I had this over a medium heat, by the way. I'm going to get this out of there, and we're going to get rid of the water. So I've melted that, and it calls for 20 to 30 drops of an essential oil. Now you can use an essential oil that will kill germs, germ-fighting types. You can use lemon or orange, any number of essential oils. Just make sure that they're food grade. Okay, that's 30 drops. I'm using Majestic pure peppermint. I'm going to give that a good stir. I think I'm going to get rid of the funnel. I don't think I need the funnel. We're going to move the jar over onto the paper towel. Now my jar's been sitting by the stove as this has been working, but I am going to temper the jar, which is pouring a little bit in the jar and just swirling it. And it's already starting to adhere to the sides of the jar, so that's a sign that I've got the right measurements. And actually my jar is not big enough for this, so let me grab a little jar. We'll set it right there, and we'll get the rest of that mixture in there. And we're going to allow this to cool. Once it's cooled, we're going to start applying it to our pieces that we have pulled. So I've got a clean rag, and I'm just going to coat these. And because these are new, I'll probably will have to coat them at least twice. And it smells lovely if you add the essential oil, but you do want to use a food grade, as I said before, just to make sure that it's safe around food. This is actually a better product to use on your wood utensils and stuff than the mineral oil and other things that they sell to do countertops with. Because we know the ingredients in it, we know it's safe for us, we know it's food grade, and it will not harm us. So those are turning out very lovely. I'm using it out of the small jar. It's cooling quicker than the tall jar. And you'll leave these out until they're completely dried, and then you can store them away. The essential oil being added adds a little bit of germ protection on your wood pieces, so that's why you would add that. But it's totally not a necessary step if you don't have it. So that's looking quite lovely on there. I'm going to grab one of the rolling pins. And I'm just buffing it in with a soft, clean rag that I cut out of old cotton t-shirts. And that looks totally different now, y'all. Looks fantastic. Let's do this big one. You see what it looks like? This also helps keep the dust off of your pieces if you have them on display. So that's another good reason to use this. Or if you have any imperfections in your wood piece like I have in mine, it kind of helps to fill those in. We're going to do the ends. Okay, it's totally transformed now. Beautiful piece, by the way. I love that rolling pin. It's got a nice weight to it. We picked it up in an antique store. They're looking so much nicer, y'all. I'm going to move those back, and we're going to get to these cutting boards. This one is solidified now, and it's a nice texture. It's not too hard. So that's going to protect that finish so much better. Make sure I get the edges as well. And we have one more cutting board to do. This is really an antique cutting board here. Flip it over and do the back side. So if you're looking for something that's going to preserve your wood pieces for your kitchen or your countertop, I would highly recommend you making this. The beeswax pellets can be bought on Amazon, but you want a pure beeswax pellet and you want a pure coconut oil and pure food grade essential oil if you're using an essential oil. They are turning out beautiful. I know the camera is not doing them justice. Or if you have a dough board or a dough bowl, a wooden one that you want to preserve and protect, this would be perfect for that. So look how beautiful that turned out. The best part is you can rub it into your hands. It's all natural, it's not going to hurt you. So I think this is a winner recipe for hashtag Cleaning Hacks 24. So I've labeled this Wood Restorer Food Grade so that I know that it's safe to use on my cutting boards and other items. It's great for getting those items ready for you to use in the kitchen. It is a cleaning hack that you can use in your home. This stuff solidified beautifully, and I'm looking forward to using this in the future. So I actually had a little bit more. This jar holds 13 ounces. This one holds 4, so I had about 15 ounces. I probably could have put this in a pint jar, but that's okay. It's ready to go, and I'm super excited. So there you go. And thank you for watching, everybody. I hope that you will jump on board on this open collaboration. It is hashtag Cleaning Hacks 24, hosted by me, the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. It will go on until December the 30th of 2024, and around January the 2nd, I will have a summary video for you. Thank you, folks, for watching, and may you be fully blessed.